Imagine a document so powerful, it birthed a nation. This is no ordinary parchment but the foundation of freedom, inscribed with the dreams of 13 colonies, standing defiant against oppression. As we reveal its words, the document that changed the world appears, emphasizing the profound impact of its declarations. The camera then pans to capture the inspired faces of contemporary Americans from various walks of life, each connected by this timeless symbol of liberty. Cutting swiftly back in time to July 4, 1776, we witness the Founding Fathers as they commit to immortality by signing their revolutionary vision. This is the story of how 13 colonies turned the tide of history. In the simmering summer of 1776, a bold decision was on the horizon. The American colonies, bustling hubs of commerce, now chafed under British rule. Life was marred by oppressive laws and burdensome taxes, such as the detested Stamp Act and the tea tax. These taxes ignited the colonists' fury, transforming whispers of discontent into roaring protests. The streets vibrated with the powerful words of the Declaration, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." These words, crafted with revolutionary zeal, transcended mere ink on parchment. They were a clarion call for freedom, a rallying cry that united disparate voices across the 13 colonies. In town squares and at tavern gatherings, the air buzzed with schemes and strategies. The colonists, once mere subjects, now embraced their roles as architects of their fate. The oppressive regulations meant to dominate their trade and unfairly tax their goods only strengthened their determination. Conversations turned to action as the burden of tyranny became unbearable. With each passing day, the script of rebellion thickened, each line sharpening the resolve of a people poised for change. The stage was set, the actors ready, the script of rebellion was being written. When the burden of tyranny grows unbearable, voices of change resound. In the dimly lit taverns and lively town squares of colonial America, two key figures stood out. Thomas Paine eloquently wielded his pen to compose Common Sense, a powerful pamphlet that reached thousands, sparking the desire for independence among the common folk. His prose was direct and persuasive, making a robust case for severing ties with British dominion. Concurrently, Patrick Henry, fueled by a relentless passion for liberty, captivated audiences with his oratory. At the Virginia Convention, amidst a tense atmosphere, he delivered the immortal words, "Give me liberty or give me death." This declaration resonated far beyond the confines of the room, inspiring patriots throughout the 13 colonies. As these influential voices advocated for freedom, the sentiment of independence resonated more forcefully, culminating in a collective call that could not be ignored. The fervor for sovereignty spread rapidly, propelled by the compelling arguments of Paine and the stirring speeches of Henry. Together, their words and ideals helped to cultivate a widespread revolutionary spirit. The call for independence grew louder, echoing through the colonies. In the quiet of the room, words that would echo through eternity were penned. Thomas Jefferson, absorbed in thought under the stifling Philadelphia heat, was drafting the Declaration of Independence. As a young delegate, he understood the weight of the task. The creation of a document that would declare the colony's independence and outline the foundational ideals of a new nation. The room, thick with tension and anticipation, hosted murmurs from other committee members. John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, and others occasionally leaned in to suggest changes, each recommendation underlining the document's significance. Jefferson's quill moved deliberately, tracing words that demanded freedom and equality, ideas revolutionary in their time. "We hold these truths to be self-evident," it boldly proclaimed, setting forth principles that would challenge the status quo and inspire future governance. As he wrote, Jefferson was not just crafting a statement of autonomy, he was envisioning a future driven by the ideals of liberty and human rights. Each line on the parchment was more than text. It was a vision of a new country. With every word, a new future was envisioned. July 4, 1776, the day the dream took form. On that sultry day in Philadelphia, the room buzzed with the tension of destiny. 56 delegates representing a cross-section of the American colonies came together, their mission clear and urgent. Encircled by walls that echoed with whispered strategies and bold ideals, each man stood ready to change the course of history. As they leaned over the parchment, the Declaration of Independence lay before them, awaiting their endorsement. With every pen stroke, a sharp crack of defiance rang out, breaking the of centuries of oppression. The atmosphere was charged with a revolutionary zeal, each signature reinforcing their collective commitment to liberty. John Hancock, with a flourish, inscribed his name prominently, his bold script a testament to his unwavering leadership. Following him, signatures accumulated, each one a pledge of bravery, a vow to uphold the freedoms they envisioned. The room, thick with the heat of a Philadelphia summer, was also thick with the spirit of unity and possibility. Together they were not merely drafting a document, they were crafting the foundation of a new democracy. As the final signature was recorded, a sense of solemnity settled over the delegates. With each signature, the fate of a nation was sealed. The ink dried, but the ideals would traverse oceans and centuries. As the final signatures were etched onto the Declaration of Independence, the real battle for freedom began. The American Revolution, ignited by a yearning for self-rule, commenced with formidable energy. Battles raged from the smoke-veiled fields of Lexington and Concord to the decisive triumph at Yorktown, where the echoes of liberty rang loud across the nascent nation. Beyond its borders, the Declaration's impact was profound. It crossed the Atlantic, inspiring the French Revolution. Citizens there, stirred by the American example, demanded liberté, égalité, fraternité. Its influence stretched even further. In Latin America, revolutionary leaders like Simon Bolivar and José de San Martin found encouragement and philosophical support in its words. They led their own struggles for independence, mirroring the fervor that had fueled the American revolt. These movements were not mere echoes but resounding calls for justice, all kindled by the same spark that had lit the fire of American independence. From the battlefields of the American Revolution to the widespread movements for freedom, the Declaration of Independence did not simply mark an epoch, but continued to be a beacon of hope and reform. Its principles influenced change and motivated fights for freedom across the globe, proving that its message was not confined by geography or time. Thus, from the battlefields of the American Revolution to the global movements for freedom and justice, the Declaration of Independence stands not merely as a document of an era, but as a continuing inspiration, a declaration of a nation, a beacon for the world. Centuries have passed, yet the words resonate as deeply today. As the pages of the calendar turn, the Declaration of Independence continues to echo through the ages, its ideals as vibrant and compelling as ever. Across the United States, from the bustling streets of New York to the serene landscapes of the Midwest, people of all backgrounds come together to celebrate Independence Day. The sky bursts with fireworks, a spectacular display of color and light, each explosion a reminder of the freedom so dearly won. Historians and scholars often reflect on the significance of this remarkable document. It's not just the historical context that captivates them, but the timeless message it conveys. One noted historian remarks, "The Declaration of Independence isn't merely a historical artifact, it's a blueprint for modern democracy, a call to arms for freedom, equality, and the pursuit of happiness." This ongoing relevance is palpable in classrooms where teachers use the Declaration to inspire young minds about the values of democracy and civic responsibility. In town halls and community centers, the principles of the Declaration foster debates and discussions, urging citizens to reflect on their rights and duties. The Declaration's influence extends beyond American borders, inspiring countless movements for freedom around the globe. Its words have been a beacon, lighting the way for those who fight against oppression and seek to establish governance by the people, for the people. A testament to the enduring spirit of liberty. From the quill to the quantum age, the journey of freedom continues. As we trace the path laid down by the Declaration of Independence, it becomes clear that its influence extends far beyond the historical confines of 1776. This document, a bold proclamation of freedom and equality, has not only shaped a nation but has also inspired countless individuals and movements around the globe. Imagine the rolling hills of Virginia, the bustling streets of New York, the serene landscapes of the Midwest, all echoing the ideals of the Declaration. Diverse groups of people from every walk of life continue to find resonance in its words, striving to fulfill the promise of liberty and justice for all. The Declaration's message transcends time and geography. In schools, in public squares, and in the quiet moments of personal reflection, its principles are revisited and reaffirmed. It is a living document, not confined to the parchment it was penned on, but alive in the aspirations and actions of people. In every breath of freedom, the spirit of the Declaration lives on. History whispers to us from the streets of our cities, telling tales of struggle and triumph. As we soar above a city alive with the hum of daily life, we are drawn into the vibrant tapestry that forms the backdrop of our story. The distant sound of honking cars and the murmur of bustling crowds mingle, setting a stage that feels both immediate and historic. We then drift into a different era, where the colors fade into sepia tones and the scenes become grainier. The images are stark. Whites-only signs stand as harsh reminders of a segregated society, contrasting sharply with the resilience seen in the faces of African American families. These families, captured in their routine lives, portray a dignified persistence amidst adversity. From the joyous laughter of children playing in the yard to the weary expressions of parents returning from long days of labor, each frame narrates a chapter of fortitude and hope. These images, frozen in time, mark the beginning of a transformative journey in American history. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. These profound words by Martin Luther King Jr. echo through the decades, reminding us of the relentless struggle for equality that defined the civil rights movement. As we delve into the heart of this pivotal era, the stirring sounds of protests and speeches blend with music that pulses with the urgency of change. Imagine the streets of Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, where the simple act of Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat sparked the Montgomery bus boycott. This wasn't just a protest, it was a profound declaration of dignity and rights, reverberating far beyond the city limits. The boycott lasted over a year, a testament to the resilience and unity of the African American community. Transitioning to 1963, the March on Washington stands as a monumental gathering, where over 250,000 people converged on the Capitol. This event was a crescendo of voices, a symphony of demands for jobs and freedom. It was here that King delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech, a vision of equality that would forever steer the course of the nation. These events, among others, were not just moments in time but catalysts for a larger movement. Each protest, each court case, each act of defiance added layers to the narrative of civil rights in America. Each march, each voice raised added a stitch to the fabric of freedom. As we reflect on these monumental events, we see not just the struggle but the enduring spirit of hope and the continuous journey towards equality. It wasn't just the actions of one that changed the course of history, but the courage of many. In the heart of the civil rights movement, a few names resonate with a force that echoes through the decades. Rosa Parks, known as the mother of the freedom movement, made her indelible mark on history one December evening in 1955. By refusing to surrender her seat to a white man on a Montgomery bus, Parks ignited a year-long bus boycott. This act of defiance became a pivotal leverage point in the struggle for civil rights, showcasing the power of peaceful protest. Then there was Malcolm X, a man whose sharp words and dynamic presence challenged the status quo. Unlike Parks's quiet defiance, Malcolm advocated for black empowerment and self-defense against racial oppression. His philosophy starkly contrasted with the mainstream nonviolent movement, providing a crucial perspective in the broader tapestry of the struggle. His speeches, brimming with fiery passion, urged African Americans to stand up and assert their rights by any means necessary. Walking alongside these towering figures was John Lewis, a fervent advocate of nonviolent protest and a key architect of some of the movement's most significant campaigns. From leading over 600 peaceful protesters across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, an event now etched in history as Bloody Sunday, to his instrumental role in organizing the March on Washington, Lewis's commitment to justice was unwavering. His philosophy of getting into good trouble underscored a lifetime dedicated to fighting inequality. The impact of these titans was amplified by their differing approaches to the same glaring inequities. Each brought their own strategies and philosophies to bear against the monolith of institutionalized racism, creating a multifaceted push for change that was as diverse as it was unified. Their legacy is not just in what they achieved, but in the inspiration they left behind. Their stories are not mere footnotes in history books but powerful reminders of the enduring human spirit's capacity to overcome adversity through collective action and relentless determination. The echoes of the past resonate in the present. As the lens of history sharpens its focus on today, we find the streets vibrant with the voices of a new generation of activists. The struggles for equality and justice, so fervently fought for during the civil rights movement, continue to pulse through the veins of society. Today's marches and protests are not just echoes but amplifications of those past battles. each step forward on the pavement a testament to enduring resilience and renewed urgency. In cities across the nation, the landscape of protest has evolved. The digital age has transformed advocacy, enabling real-time organization and a breadth of influence that spans the globe. Social media platforms, once forums for casual social exchanges, now serve as potent tools for political engagement and social reform. Through tweets, live streams, and viral videos, activists can mobilize communities, spotlight injustices, and hold those in power accountable in ways that were unimaginable in the mid-20th century. Yet amidst this technological revolution, the core demands remain strikingly unchanged. Equality in the eyes of the law, protection from police brutality, and the unyielding quest for dignity and respect. These are not new battles, but rather continuations of the same war against systemic injustices that civil rights leaders fought decades ago. The intersectionality of modern activism brings together diverse voices that highlight how race, class, gender, and sexual orientation intersect, creating a richer, more inclusive tapestry of advocacy. This diversity strengthens the movement, ensuring that no voice is marginalized, that every story is heard. It is a powerful reminder that the struggle for civil rights is not just black and white, but encompasses all hues of humanity. As we witness this vibrant resurgence of activism, it's clear that the spirit of the civil rights movement is alive and well. It has adapted, evolved, and expanded, yet its heart beats with the same rhythm of change, hope, and a relentless pursuit of justice. Today's movements are built on the foundations laid by giants. While strides have been made, the journey is far from over. As we delve into the present challenges, it's clear that the shadows of past injustices still loom large over our society. Voter suppression, a critical barrier to democracy, persists in various forms. From stringent voter ID laws to the purging of voter rolls and limiting early voting opportunities, these tactics disproportionately affect minority communities. Take, for instance, the closure of polling places in predominantly African American neighborhoods, which not only reduces voter turnout, but also sows seeds of disenfranchisement. The echoes of the past reverberate in these modern-day barriers to the ballot box. Police brutality, another stark reality, continues to ignite nationwide protests and calls for reform. The names of those lost to such violence, names like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, have become rallying cries for a profound national movement towards justice and accountability. Each story is a stark reminder of the systemic issues that still permeate law enforcement and the judicial system. On-screen graphics now illustrate some chilling statistics. African Americans are 3 times more likely to be killed by police than their white counterparts. This disparity isn't just a number, it's a reflection of deeply ingrained societal and institutional biases that demand urgent attention and action. But amidst these challenges, there is a groundswell of resilience and activism. Communities across the nation are mobilizing, not just in protest but in proactive steps towards change. Legal challenges against unjust laws and practices, voter registration drives in underserved areas, and movements to reimagine policing. These are the beacons of hope and action lighting our path forward. As we reflect on these ongoing struggles, let it be a reminder that the fight for civil rights is not relegated to history books, but continues every day in the streets, in the courts, and in the halls of government. Awareness is the first step towards action. As we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, we look towards the horizon of a just future. The journey through the civil rights movement is not merely a reflection of past struggles, but a beacon guiding us toward continued action and vigilance. The voices of Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and countless others resonate through time, not just as echoes of the past, but as clarion calls for today and tomorrow. These leaders, through their courage and unyielding determination, have laid a path for us. Yet the road to true equality and justice remains under construction. Today, as we witness modern movements unfold, it's clear that the spirit of the 50s and 60s, civil rights activism, still breathes. The fight against systemic inequalities, voter suppression, and police brutality are battles of our time, demanding our engagement and our voice. Educating oneself on the complexities of civil rights history and current injustices is the first step towards impactful action. It empowers us to contribute informed and effectively within our communities. Whether through voting, participating in local activism, or simply fostering conversations that challenge prejudices, every action contributes to the larger goal of equality. Remember, every moment of action contributes to a larger wave of change. As we've seen, change is possible when courage confronts tradition and when communities unite in the pursuit of an equitable society. Join in the march towards equality. Your voice matters in the chorus for change. Imagine a world captivated by the promise of the stars. This is the story of humanity's greatest leap. The 1960s, a decade rife with innovation and upheaval, saw the Cold War extend beyond the confines of our planet. Space, the final frontier, became the newest arena for this colossal geopolitical struggle. As the United States and the Soviet Union vied for supremacy on Earth, they also set their sights on the heavens. Amid this tense backdrop, President John F. Kennedy, with a vision as boundless as space itself, stepped forward. In 1961, before a joint session of Congress, he issued a bold challenge to land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the decade's end. This wasn't merely a declaration of intent, it was a beacon of ambition that rallied a nation. Kennedy's words galvanized engineers, scientists, and astronauts, setting them on a path of relentless pursuit and innovation. The dream of lunar exploration transcended mere competition. It embodied the pinnacle of human aspiration. With a nation's hopes and the eyes of the world watching, the stage was set for an unprecedented journey. Behind every giant leap there lies countless hours of toil and the brilliance of minds at work. The Apollo program, a beacon of the American spirit, was no small undertaking. It was the epitome of ingenuity and a testament to the unyielding human desire to push beyond known boundaries. The story of the Apollo program begins with a vision to put a man on the moon. This audacious goal required not just courage but revolutionary technological leaps. Enter the Saturn V rocket, the powerhouse that would eventually carry humans to the moon. Standing taller than a 20-story building and packing more than 7.5 million pounds of thrust, it remains one of the most powerful rockets ever constructed. The development of the Saturn V was a monumental challenge, involving thousands of engineers and technicians who worked tirelessly to translate theoretical science into steel and fuel. Parallel to the rocket's development, another marvel of engineering was taking shape: the lunar module. This spacecraft, unlike any other, needed to land on the moon, support human life, and then launch from the moon to rendezvous with a command module orbiting in space. The lunar module's design was unique, tailored to the alien conditions of the lunar environment. It was lightweight, with walls as thin as paper, yet robust enough to protect astronauts from the extremes of space. The engineers and scientists at NASA also tackled numerous other challenges, from developing spacesuits that could operate in the harsh lunar environment to creating a navigation system that could accurately guide astronauts 250,000 miles from Earth to the moon. Behind the scenes, hundreds of simulations and tests were conducted, ensuring that every possible scenario was accounted for. This meticulous preparation was critical, shaping a mission where failure was not an option. From blueprints to towering rockets, the Apollo program was ready to defy the boundaries of human achievement. The path to greatness is often paved with hardships. As the Apollo program unfolded, the world witnessed a series of groundbreaking missions, each one a stepping stone toward the ultimate goal of landing a man on the moon. The early Apollo missions were characterized by intense learning and remarkable technological advancements. Engineers and scientists worked tirelessly, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in aerospace technology. Yet, the journey was not without its profound challenges. On January 27, 1967, tragedy struck with the Apollo 1 mission. During a pre-flight test, a fire swept through the command module, claiming the lives of astronauts Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee. This devastating event shook NASA to its core and brought forth an outpouring of grief from around the world. In the face of this tragedy, NASA paused to reflect and overhaul its safety protocols. The loss of the Apollo 1 crew was a harsh reminder of the risks involved in space exploration. It became a catalyst for change within the agency, leading to significant improvements in spacecraft design and safety procedures. This commitment to safety became the bedrock upon which subsequent missions were built. Determined to honor the memory of those who had fallen, NASA's resolve only strengthened. The subsequent Apollo missions incorporated these new stringent safety measures, ensuring that the dream of a lunar landing could proceed with greater assurance and care. In the shadow of adversity, resolve hardened. The mission to land on the moon pressed on. July 20, 1969, a date forever etched in the annals of human history. On this monumental day, the Apollo 11 spacecraft, carrying astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, embarked on the final leg of a journey that had captured the world's imagination. The mission's goal was audacious: land humans on the moon and return them safely to Earth. The journey began with the thunderous launch of the Saturn V rocket from Kennedy Space Center. As the rocket ascended through the atmosphere, separated stages, and propelled towards space, the world watched in awe, united by a shared sense of anticipation and wonder. After a 3-day voyage through the vast emptiness of space, Apollo 11 reached the moon. The next critical phase was the lunar orbit insertion, a delicate maneuver that required precise calculations and nerves of steel. The spacecraft successfully entered the moon's orbit, and the stage was set for the historic descent. The descent to the moon's surface was perhaps the most nail-biting part of the mission. Armstrong and Aldrin transferred to the lunar module, named the Eagle, while Collins remained in the command module orbiting above. The Eagle then detached and began its descent, navigating over lunar mountains and craters. As they neared the surface, Armstrong noticed that the onboard computer was steering them towards a boulder-strewn area. In a display of remarkable piloting skill, he took manual control, searching for a safer landing spot. With only seconds of fuel left, the Eagle touched down on the lunar surface in the Sea of Tranquility. Armstrong's calm voice crackled over the radio. "Houston, Tranquility Base here, the Eagle has landed." This moment was the climax of human space exploration so far. As Armstrong stepped onto the lunar surface, he uttered the iconic phrase that resonated across the globe: "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." As Armstrong set foot on the moon, humanity's dream transformed into reality. What does it mean to leave a footprint on the moon? To many, it represents the pinnacle of human endeavor, a testament to what can be achieved when curiosity and courage join forces. The moon landing of 1969 was not just a spectacle of human achievement, it was a catalyst that forever altered the landscape of science and society. In the immediate aftermath of the Apollo 11's lunar touchdown, the world witnessed a surge in scientific curiosity and innovation. The astronauts conducted experiments that provided new insights into the moon's geology and environment. They installed instruments to measure seismic activity and gathered solar wind samples, bringing back a treasure trove of lunar rocks and soil. These samples not only enriched our understanding of the moon, but also offered clues about the early solar system. The global reaction was one of collective awe and inspiration. Across continents, people of all ages were glued to their television screens, watching as history was made. This monumental event transcended geopolitical boundaries, uniting humanity in a shared moment of achievement. It sparked a renewed interest in science and technology, leading to educational reforms and a surge in students entering STEM fields. Moreover, the moon landing served as a profound source of inspiration for artists, filmmakers, and writers who captured and reflected the dreams of a generation reaching for the stars. It challenged us to think bigger and push the boundaries of what was deemed possible. As the decades have passed, the legacy of the Apollo 11 mission continues to influence our approach to space exploration. It laid the groundwork for international space cooperation and paved the way for missions to other planets, and potentially one day, to stars beyond our own. The moon landing was not just a voyage to another world, it was a journey that expanded the horizons of our own. Through this monumental event, we learned that the limits of humanity are not as fixed as the ground beneath our feet, but as expansive as the cosmos itself. As the dust settled on the lunar surface, the implications of the Apollo mission began to resonate back on Earth. This historic event did not merely mark the end of a race to the moon, but initiated a new era in human endeavor. The moon landing revolutionized our approach to science and technology. It catalyzed advancements in computing, leading to the miniaturization of circuits that eventually paved the way for the personal computers we rely on today. Materials developed for spacesuits and spacecraft have found their way into products ranging from athletic shoes to firefighting gear, demonstrating the far-reaching impacts of aerospace technology. Moreover, the mission underscored the importance of international collaboration. As nations witnessed humanity's collective potential, the event fostered a spirit of global unity, albeit briefly, during a period marked by division and conflict. It set a precedent for countries to share knowledge and resources in pursuit of common goals, a principle that underpins current international space missions. The Apollo program also laid the foundational knowledge for navigating and living in space. Insights that are crucial to contemporary projects aiming to explore Mars and beyond. It inspired generations to dream big and pursue careers in STEM fields, igniting a cultural shift towards valuing science and exploration. The Apollo moon landing stands as a testament to human ingenuity and spirit, reminding us all that the stars are within our reach.